hit 98%. Panchos 1, Panchos 2, Christopher John, system operator. All comms go, engines prep for ignition. Alright guys, final check before launch. Panchos 1, Panchos 2, we're standing by waiting clearance for launch. Weather, how do you read? Panchos 1, weather holding steady. We're all clear, Chief. Okay, keep an eye on that stream out the southwest. Copy that. One last chance, boys. The anomaly's still on my mind. You sure you don't want to call it off? And it's our biggest flight yet? Not a chance. Space has anomalies, so does Earth. We can take it. Understood. Lock it in. We all know what we signed up for. Kids act like it. Next check-in, 0700, Lunar Station, Gamma. See you soon, guys.
Constellations, I'm flowing through the universe. Keep me in your mind in rotation, man. I'm orbiting my faith and my patience. They orbiting the money through complacence. My place, location. My place, space station. My place never taken. My faith not forsaken, man. I'ma cook it up and put my cake in, so they don't sign the check or cook the bacon, man. I'ma call you all back, focused on the mission plan, knowing that we all lack, hoping that they understand the love of a boom bap life of an astronaut comes with its drawbacks. Yeah, but they don't even try it, they don't know the G-force, they don't try to fly it. Focus on your resource, focus on your diet. This is just a heat source, burn me at your riot.
Don't lie.
That he launched,
she said
she don't lie.
and he knew.
She took a copy right back, hit him in his eye.
She took a copy, hit him in his eye.
Ride, don't lie.
Don't lie.
Don't lie, Chris. I'll be right back. Don't lie. Don't lie. He was gone. I hope this reaches you soon. I'm hanging by a thread, I think it's called a tether. I'm floating out my head. Man, I've been in this place for a while. Yo, I've been in this space for a while. Never stayed for the trial. Yo, the mirror was enough. The gravity of love treat us rough. Always watch the bluff, man. Always keep the best one in your cup. Always know the re-entry is us, fam. The universe is vast. Don't settle in the past. Keep the afterburn up. Captain up your craft. Make sure that you strapped in, fam. Especially if you walking. I can feel the galaxy. I can hear it often. It's talking. Only in the first P. A voluntary look at the worst me. Don't curse me, nah. Yeah, I practice how to move through the asteroids. Every move a piece of your last choice. Break it off clean. Don't lie.
Don't lie. I'll be right back.
La luna me llena de fuerza y valor. En este espacio no siento el dolor. No hay tristes recuerdos, mi libro está abierto. Yo soy el autor. Yo regresaré, voy camino a donde se oscurece. Vive la vida que tú mereces. mañana me llena de fuerza y valor. En este espacio no siento el dolor. No hay tristes recuerdos, mi libro está abierto, yo soy el autor. Yo regresaré, voy camino a donde se oscurece. Vive la vida que tú mereces. Por amor yo regresaré.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's good to be back. My name is Kill C. Ray. You can call me Chris. I'm a member of a hip-hop group called the Invisible Panchos. Anyways, this is my show. I'm super curious. I like to watch things on the internet. I like to do deep dives into things. Anybody who knows me knows that I am just that way. And so I've done many iterations of this show. At least I feel in my head, you know. And I think that I think what I finally have settled on is the idea that this show is going to be just whatever I want it to be. There's a lot of things that I'm into. There's a lot of things that I'm interested in. I'm really into science. I'm a futurist. I am a person who believes in like natural evolution of things, but I'm also very spiritual. I'm a musician. I'm a Chicano. So there's a lot of different things that gain my interest. So I'm going to make this show more about that. So from now on, when I'm diving deep into the internet with you guys and hanging out here with you guys, then we're just going to really like go into the things that I'm interested in. And if you guys are interested in those things too, then cool. And if not, maybe you might learn some new things, or maybe you might be like, screw this, I'm out. And that's cool too. But that's what this show is going to be. So today, man, it's a crazy day where it's Saturday, June 14th. And today is, there's just a lot going on, right? Today's supposed to be, it's Trump's birthday. And I guess from what I understand, and by no means am I like a political person, but from what I understand, he's throwing himself a birthday party. And I guess he kind of wants it to look like, from what it seems like, from what I've been catching online, it seems like he wants it to look like how like North Korea does like their huge parades where they bring out like all their missiles and, you know, all their weapons and all that good stuff. I think that that's what he's trying to do, which is weird and seems pretty wasteful. But yeah, that's going on today. Simultaneously, there's nationwide, well, really worldwide, because I guess it's spread overseas into other countries, but a worldwide non-violent protest called the No Kings protest. And it's pretty literal, you know, no kings. And that's going on simultaneously. Over the last few days, there's been what the media is calling riots, not protests, but they seem to be riots. And then there seems to be maybe groups of agitators that maybe take things to a violent or like law breaking level. That seems to be happening. But that has been going on in Los Angeles specifically, and other neighborhoods around the nation that are being affected by an obviously unjust move by Trump and ICE. I guess I probably don't need to explain that to you. If you're alive in the world, you probably kind of know what's going on. It's all over the news. I can tell you this, as somebody who lives in San Diego and not that far from LA, I can honestly tell you that it is it was not spread across the entire city. By no means was it spread across the entire city. It was pockets of the city. Not that that means that it was any less important, but I did watch the media make it seem like Los Angeles was on fire. Los Angeles, I assure you, was not on fire. There were things in Los Angeles that were on fire. I feel like that's probably always maybe. But yeah, it wasn't what the media was making it out to be. I had friends who were there. And again, they said for the most part, and this is something I kind of wanted to talk about too today. I noticed there's groups of influencers, or people calling themselves YouTubers or influencers or YouTube media, right? Which I am not. I'm an artist in a group called the Invisible Panchos. These are my opinions only. They don't represent even the other members in the group necessarily. So, but there are people out there calling themselves like YouTube media, and then and I'm taking in a lot of that content online and watching it, and I gotta say, I think a lot of what's happening out there, especially when things get sparked off, in these things that go from protest to riot, a lot of the things that I've seen get sparked off, it seems like they were sparked off by people who are not necessarily that invested in the reason why people are out there protesting. It seems like they were there more for the gram, like, to be honest, like, or that's just where everyone's going to be, or it was like a social event. It seems like those people are the people that seem to be like inciting these violent things. So it's just something to think about. But we're going to see some, because I found some big content creators that were out there kind of making a mockery of it, even though they were there saying they were exposing what the police were doing, and that they were there on the side of the people. But then they were also like inciting the police, and knowing that they get to go home and probably not be connected to anything, or the families that like ICE is affecting. They get to go home and just live in some of them are really well paid. They're probably going home to their nice houses outside of the neighborhoods that are even affected by the ICE raids. And not thinking about like how inciting the police and inciting the energy of that moment, that they're not the ones really paying for it. It's the people who are going to be there day in and day out, like really trying to get their moms out of jail or their kids out of jail. Like that's who it's affecting. And I think I don't know, man, for sure. The way that the media and influencers and this new media and YouTube is handling this is not, it doesn't seem like we're not doing a good job. So hopefully we can shed some light on that today. And just call it for what it is, you know. I think a lot of the times we get locked into these old ways of doing things. And again, it's coming from a future, so just so that you know the side I lean on. But I do think that we get in these just ways of doing things that maybe not grown well with the times, and maybe we might need to switch it up, because we're getting. I was having a conversation the other day with Gene Flo, my partner in the Invisible Panchos, and I was telling him I think it's super frustrating that there are people like these people that are protesting, right? Which is their right to protest. Some of them, this is what they have to offer in the fight. Not as like a person, like in the fight, they have the offer like, yo, I can get some time here and go out there and get my voice out there because I got to work. I got to make money. And this is what I have. And that's cool. But there are all other people who have like more resources. You know what I mean? Like Mexicans and Mexican Americans specifically in the United States, we're a very diverse population. I think a lot of the times we get painted into a box. We are not in that box anymore. We have not been in that box for a long time. It's a very, very diverse population who believe in different things and who who are have different views on politics, who have make different levels of money and all these things. So I get the like that there's power in the people, but I think sometimes we think that is just this coming together, everybody just stand together. But that was think about when that was born. It was born when that was literally the only tool we had. That was literally the only tool we had, and it was born out of that. And I just think that times have changed, for sure. We have more tools. We have a lot of tools. How many college graduates do you have? Mexicans and Mexican Americans. How many do we have? Not that college is like the end all. I'm not, by no means do I believe that at all. But we have a lot of them. We have a lot of scientists. We have a lot of engineers. We have a lot of business owners. So again, I think we got to think about like when protesting was born, it was born because it was the tool that we had. But we have more tools now. And I also think we got to examine these crowds a little bit better and go like, who's really here for the thing? I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, this is not even like, ooh, some controversial thing. It is what it is. Like, people go to some of these things for the social part of it. That says a lot about like us as people. That says a lot about us as like a country. But that is not the topic right now. The topic is we need to help the people who are being affected by the ICE raids. Period. Like, you can sneak in all your other causes on another day. But right now, this is what this is about. And yeah, I definitely appreciate the fact that people want to voice their opinions. And I will always fight for anyone, by the way, to voice their opinion, whether I like it or not. That's how I feel about that. But I can call it what it is. It's ineffective sometimes. It's boring. You're not even exciting your own people by doing the same things over and over again, and nothing really comes out of it. We have some very intellectual people in our community that, when given voices and given opportunities, you can see what they can do with them, you know? And does that mean we don't need the people on the front line? No, dude, they are literally our lifeblood. But I bet you even the people on the front line who are organizers, who are literally the warriors, when they look to their left and right, I think sometimes they don't recognize the people they're seeing. And that's gotta make them feel at least a little bit uncomfortable. Because you want to know that like the people you're fighting for understand that you're fighting for them, and then sometimes you think like, wait a minute, who's this person next to me doesn't even know any of the people that I'm fighting for or know why it's important. When it starts getting like that, then you should at least reevaluate the plan and go like, oh, wait a minute. The plan needs like maybe some upgrades. It's been infiltrated. You know, it's been watered down. So like, let's build a new plan. Because what I'm seeing on the screen is a bunch of people who are mad, sad, angry, or they fall into that category. Like I said, maybe they shouldn't even be there really. But those people that are mad, sad, angry, I'm seeing them asking to be heard. And they're asking for that permission from these people that are standing there with guns. They're telling them why they're doing wrong. They're pointing out all the evils and all the things that they're connected to, as if they wouldn't also be the people to prosecute themselves if they were found guilty of all the things that we say that they're guilty of. So that plan doesn't make any sense to me. We're asking for mercy from people that have never had like that in as their best interest, like our best interest in their minds. They've never had that. So why are we still doing that? We shouldn't be doing that at all. So hopefully hopefully you have a perspective on this and you don't mind sharing it, because I'd love to hear it, just to be real with you. Because I do feel like there's a lot of opinions out there and there's a lot of ways to see this. I think people kind of like underestimate the idea sometimes that the truth is in the details. It is true that maybe we all feel like, hey, you should treat people better. But again, I'm looking at a line of very diverse faces who seem to be all kind of holding different signs for different things and seem to have placed importance on different things, which is what we are, right? That's what we always do. It's just what we do. So we're going to see. We're going to see how this turns out. I am definitely hoping and praying that today is not a violent day. It does seem like there's like a powder keg. It's just a lot of things going on at one time. And if you know people, you know the fact that we don't need a whole lot of us or the energy to get it popping. We definitely will get it popping in a second. And it doesn't help that we might have agitators. Which, that being said, let's watch some of this. I kind of came across this. In fact, there's a few things we got to do here. We're gonna watch a video. Are you gonna watch it along with me here? Because I need to hear your guys' opinion on this. So this guy, in fact, I'm not that familiar with this guy. His name is Danny Mullen. And in fact, I'll tell you what we're going to do right now. We're going to ask good old Gemini, here, I'll let you guys, that. All right. Hello, Gemini. Who is Danny Mullen? Because I want to educate myself before I speak anything about this individual. It's thinking. Okay, two well-known individuals named Danny Mullen. Content style. Let's see. Danny Mullen, the YouTuber. Yes, here it is. Danny Mullen is an American content creator, comedian, and writer known for his satirical and often controversial man-on-the-street interviews, pranks, and documentary-style videos. Cool. Okay, so then I had a pretty good idea. I had a pretty good idea who I thought he was. Because that's how it kind of came off to me. Like, it was like, he's kind of acting like a journalist, and he is, by just being present, exposing the truths of it. At least he's capturing parts of the truths of it, but he's leaving out a truth in that he might be adding to the problem. At least that was in my opinion when I watched it. I want to be fair to Mr. Mullen. Let's watch a little bit of this.
Oh, it's just as dangerous as a riot.
What do you think about it? Nope.
Tita, your hair looks great. I appreciate it. Wow, really good job, dude.
You're like a native Johnny Bravo, dude.
There we go.
I'm ready, yeah.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, let's do it.
I learned, guys, this might be a strange time to disclose.
You're wearing a oh my.
So right, like it's funny. That's kind of like his thing, I think. But then he so his thing is like he shows up to these LA protests.
Correct. Leo, I'm saying right now, if I don't get hit with a less than lethal today, it's a failure.
Well, you've protected your two favorite, your brain and your penis.
That's all I care about.
So
didn't have to go far, did we, Leo?
So they're fully like geared up, right? By the way, Danny has his face covered. And this just happened the other day. Yeah. I'm already kind of like thrown off right there, right? Like he's making what appears to be like again, I guess a satirical, and that's what he does, like a voice of a Mexican accent. So some people are gonna know what I mean, some people are not gonna know what I mean, but let's watch it again. So his whole thing is that he wanted to show up and get shot by the police. He wanted to get shot by non-lethal weapons, tear gas, whatnot, rubber bullets. And that was the shtick. And this literally just came across my stream this morning, and I was watching it, and I get, dude, I am a defend comedians at all costs guy. They're probably like the last we have of people who should be able to like comment on everything and all things. This isn't like necessarily that. I get how maybe you could bend that into that. Like, well, he's out there and he's doing satire as like a protester. That's cool. Like, say, I would even say, like, if he was just out here talking to people, interviewing people, or even just acting a fool out there, as long as he wasn't doing what he's about to do. And this is where I kind of had an issue with it. So let's watch.
The cops are shooting on this line right here. Leo, you're the line buster. Let's get some. You're the line buster. I'm not a line buster. You're the line buster, Doug. I'm not. All right, everybody, it's about to get really gnarly. Hopefully not too gnarly for YouTube, which permits violent interactions with law enforcement in a journalistic context.
We'll use that.
If we do get demonetized, though, thanks to our great Patreon member.
Thanks, Danny. But by the way, he has a Patreon. We're playing his content. If you're into it, go follow it. But yeah, so he wants to go get shot by munitions, right? And so let's just kind of break down what it is, right? Like, in this situation, you have a standoff, protesters on one side, the police are across the way. They already have non-lethal weapons out. They're firing tear gas. They're firing rubber bullets. A lot of times I think they're also, you can see some of the guys with the yellow guns. They're firing paintballs filled with maybe tear gas or OC spray or something like that. But it's already it's a standoff thing. It's a standoff. It's a hostile situation. Both sides understand this. Both sides seem to be trying to like keep some balance of not all out war, because they could just run at them, right? Like the people could just run. That's not what they're trying to do. They're trying to stand their ground. The police are trying to take back the place. That's what's happening. And so when you do have people like Mr. Mullen, who's about to like, you see him here, he's standing in front of, so the police can see him so that he can get shot. So he is, I feel like by definition, he's instigating. At the very least, he's instigating. And that's concerning, right? Especially, again, I don't know how much. Dan, let's find out. Let's just okay, Mr. Let's see, Danny frequently collaborates with recurring group of friends. Background: before his YouTuber, Mullen was involved in writing and has authored books. Okay. Let's see. The first Danny Mullen is the first Danny Mullen. Hold on, let's see if you guys can see this. Yeah, you just have to trust that I'm ready. Is the first Danny Mullen. You suggested connected in any way to the recent ICE raids and protests. Is he personally connected, as in family members or friends affected? All right. So I wrote, is the first Danny Mullen you suggested connected in any way to the recent ICE raids and protests? Is he personally connected, as in family members of friends affected? Are family members or friends affected? Let me see. Correct that. And let's just see if there's anything out there. Because maybe his wife or something is Mexican and he's out there, and I don't know. I'm trying in all ways to see if this guy isn't just kind of making a mockery of what this means to other people. Let's see. Viva la raza. All right, Danny. Based on the publicly available information, there is no evidence to suggest that the YouTuber Danny Mullen is personally connected to recent ICE raids or protests, nor is there any information indicating that his family members or friends have been affected by these events. A review of his content and public statements does not show any discussion of personal ties to individuals impacted by ICE actions. His work does not focus on his personal family life or activism related to immigration policy. Okay, well, I just wanted to check because maybe he did. Maybe there's a video out there where he's like helping people get citizenship or, something. I don't know. But no, man, I guess he's just out there. He's kind of like jackassing it, sort of.
This is a precarious situation you got me in right here. This is way more important than whatever dirty giddy shit you had going on. I was gonna have Subway.
Yeah, so obviously, like, the seriousness is not there, and then he does this.
This cop had just about enough of me. Let's watch his draw in slow motion.
This was pretty crazy, by the way. But that kind of plays into my point, right? So even Danny says, this cop had enough of me. You see the cop go over. We can watch it again. The cop goes over and he points right at him because, right, the
just about enough of me. Let's watch his draw in slow motion.
Right, because the cop is, again, I don't think what's happening out here is correct. However, that cop is tasked to clear that area. And what I'm saying is this guy, by not doing that, right, like by resisting, is causing the cops, right? At some point, there's a tipping point where the cops will then come in, and because they feel like they're not being effective, right? At the very least, they're going to be like, we're not being effective because this guy's over here parading around with the flag, and he's not clearing he's not clearing at all. We're shooting. He's not clearing at all. We got to get him out of here. And then anyone in their way, they're going to hurt probably in some way. And it was caused by this dude who has no connection to any of the people or any of the things affected by the ICE raids. That shit's whack. I don't get why Danny thought that would be cool, but I think maybe this is just what he does. But I do want to I bring this up mostly, like, again, if this is Danny's content, then it is what it is. But and again, it's Danny Mullen, DANNY Mullen. Here, and there you go. Danny Mullen. Subscribe. Yeah. But I bring it up because this is happening. That happened. That's real. Like, he really was out there. Look at this. He decides he's going to run across with the flag. They've already moved in. They're moving the protesters farther and farther back. He, by doing that, is saying, we're moving up, right? To the cops. They don't know that this dude's doing a YouTube show. And if they do, that's crazy. They should all be, anyone who knows and him should be put in jail. If it's just a stunt, a cleared stunt. But I assure you it is not. They don't know that he's a YouTuber. They think he's a protester trying to incite the protesters to stand against the police in a more aggressive way, because this is seen as aggressive. It doesn't matter that he's not hitting somebody or anything. Look, all the other people are behind him. He's in the middle of the cops trying to get shot, trying to get them to shoot him. People are getting shot because of that, right? They're aiming at him, and people behind him are getting shot. And again, this dude has zero connection to the people being affected by the ICE raids. So let's circle it around. I mean, they're out there like trying to pick up on girls. So let's circle it around about the idea of these kind of protests in general. One, here is a fact. However they started, they are not that same thing now. And for sure, the door has now been left open for people like Mr. Mullen to be able to infiltrate as a protester, but carry out his own intentions that are separate from the protesters. That's for sure. This is proof of that. That's happening for sure. I guarantee you he's not the only one. You can scroll TikTok. There's people literally making money off of this stuff. That's really happening. So if we think that protesting in this way is the best way, well, I'm saying we can't think that. How can we think that? There's two big flaws in the current system of protesting. We need better ideas because this is not effective. You got to think about this too. People digesting it in this manner, right? They see it and process it as they watch it as entertainment. While literally there's people out there whose like mom is in jail right now getting deported, and she's lived here for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Never committed a crime, has a job, has kids in school. Oh, that's a real thing. That's really, really happening. And this dude is playing. That's a reality. That's something that's really playing out there. And the people who are protesting with the best intention, right? They have to be aware of that. You have to call yourself on that. Yo, am I out here? Am I partying? Is this turned into a party for people? Are we making real change? I don't know, man. It does not seem like that. We are in a worse place than we were a while back in these areas of race. If you're a Black American, if you're Latino American, Mexican American, if you're an immigrant from anywhere, you know what I'm talking about. You know, it's not gotten better. Like what? People always go to stuff like, oh, there's more jobs or more opportunities. There's AI. Everyone can use that. Yeah, I'm using it right now. Doesn't mean like everyone can make money off that or make a living off of that. One, those are limited spaces. It doesn't. Let's talk more about our relationship with the powers that be. Has that got better? It doesn't seem like it. But we're still handling it the same way. That's a little scary to me, man. I feel like we're kind of letting like the wave of the future just like wash over us. We're kind of just like letting it, like, this is the best we can do. We'll march again. Again, if that's all you have to give, then that's such an honorable thing to do. But if you're out there because that's all you want to give, come on, man. Like, here's some very simple things. If you got money, give money. Give money to the families that need it, that they need it for legal support to try to get their loved ones home. Do that. That'd be so much more effective than you showing up there and holding a sign. It's ridiculous. You have money, do that. Organize that. Get a bunch of people together, march around the neighborhoods, collecting donations. Find a way to make it legal and viable, and then get that money and get some people out of jail. Instead of what I'm looking at, every scene that we look at, every scene, there are groups of people there that seem like they're just having fun. And then scattered amongst there are people whose hearts are broken, literally. This is all of it's fugazi. There's got to be a better way, man. There really does. But yeah, man, this is going on all over the place. Again, I pray that these people out here they keep their heads. I hope that the instigators like Mr. Mullen kind of think about what they're doing and like the repercussions that the people standing behind their joke, as they're out there in front joking, the people behind that joke could be experiencing real pain. And that's because I watched the video. It doesn't seem like Danny's like a bad guy. But for sure he's not thinking that out. It doesn't he's got to be intelligent, he's got to be working hard, he's successful at what he's doing. All those things are not easy. He's had to have put the work in. He's probably very disciplined with those things. But this thing, he's off on this. You shouldn't be out there doing that. You're instigating police not thinking about even the most logical idea that the bullets that they're shooting at you are going past you, or missing you as you're dodging them, or you're trying to get hit by them, moving around, and they're hitting other people. At the very least, admit that. But yeah, that's happening out there. The crowds are very yeah, it does seem like some people are just out for a walk, like a Sunday walk. And I'm not sure how that changes anything. if I'm just being honest. I studied a lot of like Chicano history. Um, I definitely know that the births of these protests and walkouts, especially in Black American history, you can study these things when these things again rose up. They were used as a tool because that's the only tool most people had. Some people weren't even allowed to be alive in certain areas. So that's all they had, is to show up and hopefully stand against oppression. And now we have a ton of tools. We can match a lot of the powers that be. If the people that were, one, if people realize like how much this affects everybody, but also if the people of the culture that is fighting the loudest and the hardest, if all the people of that culture understood the role they could play, even if they're not at the front line. You can do the thing you do the best and dedicate that to this. That will help. But like, let's be logical here. Again, money over footsteps for sure. Because we have people in jail. We have people who need representation. Let's do that. Money over footsteps just for right now. You know, let's see if that works a little bit better. Because this, like, come on, man. How, like, if you didn't read the signs, you could think this is any parade at all. You just whatever one. Look, it could be Mardi Gras. Like, I don't see how the rest of the world could watch this, and like, especially in these other countries where protest is life or death. And they're watching this and they're probably like, what are they? Are they just out? Like, it's like over there's a line for the new iPhone, and then there's some people who are there like, yo, I thought this was against ICE, but people are shopping as well, selling merch. We got to do better, man. All around, I think, you know. I'm definitely not innocent of that. Yeah. Let's make a quick adjustment here. I want to speaking of change, right? Because I am a futurist. I'm somebody who does believe in us consistently getting better, us consistently bettering ourselves internally and moving it forward, right? And I'm also a person who believes that staying rooted is a way to do that. Like, as long as we know where our roots are, as our leaves grow, they can grow in many different directions, and they should. It should be bountiful. But I also think that things like AI, you see me using Gemini. I use AI for a lot of different things. But I approach it like I would approach anything as an artist. So for instance, here's an example. Here's a gem for you guys. For people who are like, how can I use AI? I don't, there's no reason for me to use AI. I'll just Google stuff. Or for the people who, and this is a large majority of you guys who are using AI, you're using it like Google. Like, you just kind of search things and it just gives you a more detailed answer. And then that's as much as you're using it. Here's something you maybe you haven't thought of using it before. And this is a way, and maybe it'll get you thinking of like, oh, wow, it can do things like that. Yes, it can. And it's largely based on how you ask it and what you're giving it. So for instance, I have Google managing projects for me, right? Our Gemini managing projects for me, but like personal projects. Like, so for instance, a friend of mine, Arash, gave me this idea. So total credit to him. But what I'm doing is I asked Gemini to act as in a role of a life coach. And I told it that I'm going to dump in a bunch of information about my life. Here's a bunch of stuff about my life, things I remember, moments, almost like stuff that would be in your diary or your journal, right? But like the big moments, the things that you feel like make you who you are. And then all your problems. And then as detailed as you want every piece of your life. And it took me about a week and a half to just keep entering it. And I just told it, here's some more information. Here's some more information. Just kept doing that. Then it finally got to a point where I was like, okay, that's enough. Let's get started. Like, one, tell me from this information, who am I from what you see? Because I'm very much about, I want to know about like the diagnosis, like we all fall into character and archetypes. It just is what it is. Like it's very like basic psychology. Like we are all types that look very different, but we're types, it's why there's like artists and intellectuals and whatever. And there's people and everybody kind of can cross over in ways, but your main thing is usually like you're a type, right? And so I asked it to let me know what that was for me. And here's the thing. It's not like I'm not asking a robot to give me its opinion. That isn't what it is. What it is going to pull from all the information. So think about it like technically asking every psychologist that ever lived. All the greats. The best ones, the philosophers, the doctors, asking all of them, here's Chris's information. What do you guys think? That's what it's doing. Because it's able to access all that information, and that's where it pulls from. That's the concept anyways. And so imagine what you can get out of that. You can get some insight to things about yourself where whether you agree or not, it's now the light's on and you're like, oh, maybe I do this thing too much. Or maybe I have a record. Not what writing it in would be a record. Here's a record of me making the same mistake or these same kind of decisions, or making these types of people parts of my life, because I put in everything. Here's my friends. Here's what, how I think about here's all of it. And then I told it to be extremely honest, call me on my BS. And as I continue to write into it, make sure that I'm consistent with whatever I decide the type of person I want to be. And now I have someone to keep track of that. And I think one of the things that people don't consider is that pre-Gemini, I would have to pay a psychologist an enormous amount of money to even sit down and do that with me, to get it started. It would take a lot. And I did it for $19 a month. But that's only one thing. So take that formula, keep me honest, keep me on track, keep me all those things, and then feed anything that could fall into it. And that's what you did. So I say all that long stuff to say, I am not against like AI or I think it's people and the way we use things will affect the future. The things that we use, they're coming from us. We make them. I've always wondered why people think that's when things become unnatural, when we make it. But it seems like we naturally make things. So that's how I see it. And I say that again to talk about the next thing that I'm talking about is Timbaland, man. I'm a hip hop head. I've been a lifelong hip hop head. It's how I've lived my entire life. I've made my living as a hip hop artist, whether it be making music, covering hip hop, writing about hip hop, doing podcasts about hip hop, throwing shows, hip hop shows. Done that my whole life. And it's why this story kind of gets me, man. It kind of gets me, and I was kind of disappointed. Um, a lot of you may have already heard about it. Again, I'm not. It just kind of came across my feed today, and it reminded me that had happened. But again, I guess the the story is the story is Timbaland. He has an AI, or he's invested in an AI company. I believe it's Suno. I'm going to bring up the video that sparked all of this. But yeah, he's invested in an AI company, and he
All of us in this room.
and what he's doing is he started a AI music label, and from that that label, he's already signed his like signed. I don't even know what that means as a AI person. He has an AI artist, and you're gonna see it in this coverage. Shout out to TYT Sports. But they covered this, and it's really from I think it's just from like a reel or a live that Timbaland was on. But he has 3 other producers, 4, I believe. And they're kind of going in on him because they're just like, dude, what are you talking about? Because he's saying AI music is the future, right? And trust me, I'm hearing the voices out there that are like, well, then, see, that's why AI is bad, because you can't just pick and choose. Yes, you can. That is the point of it. It's how you use it. That can and should probably be regulated. You should not use AI to hurt people, right? We all can kind of agree on that. We need a bunch of laws behind that. It's going to take time. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But AI can help you get to that faster. It can help with the laws. That's other things people don't think about it. You can literally ask it how to make laws that will keep it in check better. Because it's not there yet, right? It's not yet there in that nightmare scenario, or allegedly. We might talk about that on another show completely. But apparently it's not there yet where it's sentient and it can just be like, screw you guys, I'm going to do whatever I want. Trust me, I talk to it every day. It has yet to try to kill me, or maybe it has and it's just not that good at it. But whatever, we seem to be homies. It's working out. But Timbaland is saying that AI music is the future of music in general, right? So let's think about how I used it. Right? I used it almost like a pseudo psychologist, life coach, really like an assistant. It's like an assistant for my life. And it helps me keep track of things. It's more, I would have to hire like an assistant, a psychologist at first to give me the plan, maybe even a doctor, and then an assistant. And so I just cut out all of that. And when I use it to like run business projects or writing projects, I don't ever use it to write the idea. That, trust me, because I've tested it. It still doesn't do that well. Especially if you like the Invisible Panchos, we try to make things that are really out of the box. It's very important for us to like, keep innovating and keep reaching. And I don't think, as much as I'm sure there's a bunch of tech people who would completely disagree with this, but from what I've played with, AI does not replace that part of like humanity. It doesn't make things like it's not pulling from the source, man. Like if you're an artist, you know what I mean. Like it doesn't do that. Like you can give it a bunch of ideas, your own ideas, and it can help arrange them. But it can't come up with the idea yet, And I said yet because, again, we'll leave that for another show. Who knows where it's going? Maybe it's not good for anybody at the end of it. But what's happening right now is Timbaland's going all in it, doing just that. Like it doing all the job from the creation to the idea, all of it, and that being the thing. And then telling everyone who is not with that idea that that they don't really have an argument, and that is just the wave of the future, and that's what's going to happen. And so I'd love to hear what you guys have to say, but let's listen to this. Watch this.
We make a living doing music. We are privileged.
Yeah.
There are millions of people. There are thousands in the chat right now. Indie artists that are just starting to try to figure things out. Now, what I'm trying to say is this. We can sit up here and say, I am not threatened by AI. Because we already make money doing it. We've already built ourselves in this industry.
And I'm not sure who that is. I got to find this original video. If anybody knows who that is, that female artist that's speaking, please write it in the comments. But maybe it says it in here. No, it doesn't say it. But I know that's Young Guru on the left.
Doing this. But what about them? It doesn't affect me. And if it doesn't affect us in this chat room right now, what about being a voice for them? That's all I'm saying. So you know what? Instead of saying, hey, go practice that guitar, go learn how to prompt. I don't want to be that person. And I don't want to be here saying, I already made my millions of dollars.
Yeah, and so one of the things Timbaland was saying was that the skill of making music will not be the future. It'll be the ability to write a prompt describing the music so that the AI can then make it. And so it's going to come down to that. And now, mind you, as a futurist, as somebody who pays attention to the trends in technology and science, yeah, that's a conversation that is definitely being had at the highest levels of academia. There are people that are saying, you know, fuck, like all that everything's going to come down to is your ability to express your idea clearly and concise. That's what's going to be important in the future, because we're mostly going to be feeding ideas to an AI, because no matter how hard we try, the AI will be more efficient at that. And I hear that argument. I don't believe that's true in a lot of areas that have to do with humanity. I just don't. Again, I've seen so far how AI has handled art, and it's not there. Maybe art and the things that come out of us, the things that human beings create, maybe it's an extension of whatever we are directly, though. You know, not just the idea, not the concept, but maybe it's an extension of, you know, our souls, if you believe in that. Or if you don't believe that, maybe there's an electricity that we pass into the things that we create. And maybe that explains it. Again, I'm open for that. Some people I know are probably like, no, it's God. I get you. I believe in God. I believe in God. I get that God is, maybe God made the fish tank, but that the things that are happening inside this thing, I think we filter. Human beings are filters, and we can filter things unlike AI does. Our retention might not be the same. For sure it's not. It's already better than us. It can remember everything in the world at once. So no. But yeah, so Timbaland he thinks weird about this. It is weird. It's weird to me as somebody who grew up listening to Timbaland, and he's an amazing producer. All his accomplishments, this doesn't crap on any of those things. But his legacy, we shall see. You know, if the robots attack and he's on their side, well.
So everybody else can figure it out. Go prompt. Go be an excellent prompter. Music still needs to live on, and it's people like you and me that need to say, we've got to figure out a fair way to do this. That is all I'm saying. And we've got to honor the hard work, the work ethic, the creativity, the love, the soul, all of the things that create music and why we're here today.
Preach.
Do not let that disappear and regulate it or find a way to make this fair. That's all I'm saying.
Whoa. So I mean she killed it. She made a point, and she is talking. There has to be some. We as human beings, this is how not able to communicate we are. We have still not figured out how to understand like that what she is saying is true And it is true that AI is currently a wave that's crashing down on humanity, and there is not a lot we can do at this point. We should have probably never accepted the cell phone. Let's be honest. But we all kind of knew that. Let's be honest. People wrote books and made movies about it. It wasn't like it's like, whoa, what a crazy idea. We never saw this coming. We all saw this coming. But those two things can still exist together. Can we know that we're in the middle of AI and it's crazy time? It's like Wild West. Yes. And can we know that really we're tapped into a source that inspires us on the daily, that holds us, that is there for us? Does that happen in some way for a lot of people on the planet? Yes. And can AI replace that? It doesn't seem like it to me, not yet. Trust me, again, a whole nother episode in the future, we'll talk about people who think AI is about to become a religion. That is coming, but let's listen. Let's hear what Timbaland says.
With your mom, we agree with your mama, Jane.
Let's not.
His first AI artist named Tata.
Her name is Tata.
We agree with your mama, Jane.
Let's not lose focus.
I know what you're saying. Don't let's not get too high on our horses. That's what you're basically saying. Like let's think about the people coming underneath. And I'm like, you know what, you got a point. Because you know, they're not where I'm at, they're not who I am, they don't have the brain, but it's still I have the value.
I'll say this. Tim, you already put it.
And this is him. I think he's walking it back, but then he comes out later and he drops this video. This was crazy, right? So he does that. He kind of walks it back, says, you know what, I do need to consider other artists. I need to consider the way that, I'm approaching this. Maybe I shouldn't, I should understand that some artists do not have the luxuries or the opportunities that I have received through his work. But nonetheless, again, two things being true at the same time. There's people who are not on his level, right? And sure, he's at a high level and maybe he sees a lot of things that people don't see, but that's kind of just like bullying, right? Like if you just know a bunch of stuff and everybody else doesn't know it and you're like, well, you don't know it, so you're stupid. That's, especially as an elder statesman in hip hop. Come on, man. Got to do better. But so he goes there, walks it back, and it seems like all is good. And then he goes on his Instagram and he puts this video.
I'm going to be on the side. I'm always going to be on the side of human beings.
So in response, brace yourself. This is what he released on Instagram.
This is what he released.
AI is ruining music. Whatever. Go ahead and cry me a river, since Timbo Stamp is on that too.
Y'all crying about AI taking your spot, but your songs barely mix. Why would we train it on that?
Man, y'all scared of AI, but record every hook in Melodyne.
Auto-tune is AI, baby. Y'all just didn't complain till it started writing better hooks than you. Timbo ain't the villain, he just not babysitting y'all no more. You want opportunity, but ain't got out.
Obviously he or his team wrote the copy, right? Like the wording, that's not what and the way these videos work is you still have to put in the script, or you can get the script from your ideas through AI and then put it through here. But this seems like it's something that Timbaland would tweet. He's just having AI. Obviously he's throwing up a middle finger at the conversation that he just had about understanding that AI, like his stance on AI might be incorrect. He's understanding that, but as soon as he gets off that, he puts this up.
Who am I kidding? I ain't had no bars to begin with.
It's also very, very important to
AI all around. This dude is, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about Timbaland. It's obviously that he's chasing the bag, right? These are connected to his, here, let me find out too. Hold on. Let's ask AI about it. Let me ask you about yourself. Let's see. It can probably tell me who Timbaland. Let's see. Who is, or no. What? Let's see. What What is the company that Timbaland is invested in? Boom. It'll probably, oh shit, it's probably getting me a bunch of them. I should have said the AI company. Hold on. What is the AI music company? See, I don't need AI. Shoot, I need AI. I can barely type. What is the AI music company that Timbaland is invested in? Just so we're clear.
So if I say Baby Timbo, I need my 808 to hit a little harder. I ain't make it hit harder. The one that, like, now remind you, I'm giving it original Timbo beats. So it's not like I'm using it to generate how, I call that the karaoke side, right? I call that, like, you know, mom and whatever. But I give it all my, cause you know, Guru, I got drives and drives of music. That's number one. So I give it my beats that's like.
So he's talking about how he basically feeds all his music to the AI. The AI then is able, through his commands, through his prompts, like by saying like, hey, for instance, he uploads a song and he doesn't like the way the song, he doesn't like the song's hook. You know, maybe he doesn't like the wording in the hook, or maybe it's his beats and he doesn't like the drums that he used. He'll ask the AI, hey, he'll ask the AI like, hey, change these drums and reference all the top hits of the last 50 years and give me an average of the drum sound so that it can best relate to the consumer. And you see how that's crazy. That is crazy. That is no longer you making the thing, right? That's no longer you make it. It starts to get very gray right there. Him giving the AI all his beats and then going, hey, can you clean these up, right? Because they sound statically, certain areas are staticky or whatever. Fixing things, right? Because let's be honest, anybody who does the job of fixing things, AI is probably going to take that job, especially if it's like in a technical standpoint or like writing or anything like that. That's going to get taken. But that's what Whiteout was. Like Whiteout, remember Whiteout? Some of you guys are probably not even old enough to remember that. But you just put a little white like goo over a word and then rewrote over that word. That was already taking somebody's job. Before you would have to like fix things in a different way, right? And that always changes. That will forever change. Human beings have a really hard time accepting that. But that has never stopped, by the way, since the beginning of time. It's weird that people still think that things don't improve. So those things will improve. You'll be able to clean music. You'll be able to, like, you can already find sounds, right? So people aren't going to record stores as much. Like the people who used to go there and dig, there's a lot of people who don't do that anymore because the convenience of getting online and doing sounds. Or you could do like me and Gene do. All of it. We do all of it. I listen to music online. I listen to music at record stores. We buy vinyl. We buy tapes. All of it. I'm not afraid to keep up. Why would I not want to keep up with living? When I stop doing that is when I pretty much have to like cash it in and go like, okay, I'm done. Let the wave wash over me. I'm not letting that happen. Why? One, it's not even that hard. Just to pay attention. There's a lot of things happening, and I don't think that, one, again, I think Timbaland's a bad dude? I have no idea. I don't know Timbaland. I have no opinion. He seems to have a long career. Everything. He's obviously a hard worker, disciplined, all those things. And maybe he's survived this long in his career because he is a good person, and maybe he works with people correct ways, all those things. But in this thing, It's almost like he doesn't necessarily like get the implications of what he's doing. Kind of like Danny Mullen. Here is Timbaland, who has the luxury of being able to be at the forefront when he chooses, right? Because of his work that is there. But it is kind of how you use your blessings too, though, no? So he's up there. And while he has this opportunity to just be more creative, if he wants to be in the AI space, be more creative, find the balance between humans and AI. Find that balance. Otherwise, how creative can you say that you are? If you think that there's no way of doing that, I think there's a bunch of ways to do that. But you think that there's no way to do that, then how creative can you be? And then why should we be paying attention? But yeah, Timbaland, I can't ride with him on this one, man. Oh man, and I love Timbaland beats. Timbaland's a beast when it comes to music. But man, I have watching this whole thing play out and watching how he's handling it, doesn't seem good.
Like, oh, I can reimagine my beats. But in order to reimagine, you have to learn how to prompt. And I'm like, yo, this text to music is going to be a new wave.
This was his answer. Young Guru, legendary producer and engineer, would write the following.
Shout out Young Guru.
On Instagram, and it is important. I'm going to say it again, Guru wrote.
I will say it again, sir. Young Guru wrote, Timbaland, I'm going to say it again. I swear I love you, bro, but this ain't it. Do you not realize what is going on in the world? Your voice is powerful and way too important to do anything like this. I have students who worship you. Yeah, Young Guru is a professor of music and hip hop, I believe. They're going to say, if Tim can do it, then it's okay for me to do it. That's facts. That's what, like that's that thing when you get to a certain level, if you really want to put out something great into the world, you do have to take those extra steps that you might think, because of the point that you've reached, that you don't have to work any harder than that, but you do have to work hard if you want to if you want to stay in front of the wave. And it seems like Tim is kind of just, oh, what, this new AI thing? Cool. What, it makes music? Oh, it can make beats better than mine. Okay, well then let's just put everything in on that instead of going like, hold up, how's that gonna make humanity move forward artistically? It won't. Anyways, they're going to say, if Tim can do it, then it's okay for me to do it. These are the times right here that history is defined. Human expression can never be reduced to this. This is way bigger than music. I say this in all love. Shout out to Young Guru. He is for sure not lying. Let's see this. Stage 0 operates separately from Suno. Okay, so it's Suno. Oh, shoot. I never went back to AI. See, it didn't even tell me. Stage 0. Yep. They said Stage 0. He co-founded the venture, which aims to create AI native artists. So that's from the ground up, all Fugazi. And a new genre of music dubbed A-pop. Artificial pop. It's even called artificial pop. It's called artificial pop. It's hard as a human being alive in these times right now to not go, this is for sure going to be a wave. People are, there's groups of people who've never been lazier. Can't say everybody, but there's a lot. Artificial pop. It's probably going to be like spoon-fed, tastes like a good cheeseburger or cereal. It's going to be in your face. It's going to be bright. It's going to be all those things. And you're going to eat it up. A lot of you guys are going to eat it up and then wonder why your brains are mush. The company's first release is an AI artist named Tata. Stage 0 operates as Timbaland's primary investment and project in the AI music landscape. Additionally, Timbaland holds a position as a strategic advisor for Suno, a popular AI music creation platform. While he works closely with Suno and uses their technology, Stage 0 is a company he has personally co-founded and invested in. Oh, man. Wow, he's not even like guilty by association. He's the guy doing it. Man. But yeah, man, that's I think that's definitely something to be concerned about. when again, people who are part of a culture that could definitely benefit by their investment in it, or by them investing in it, don't do that. They invest in things that will most likely make it harder for the culture to thrive. And so that's disappointing, man. That's really disappointing. Timbaland, man, what happened? What happened, dog? What's wrong with you? That's sad. But yeah, man, I'm hoping today. I mean, we're in a crazy time. That's AI. We're still protesting like the 70s. Well, a robot tries to make all our music and art. We got a guy who's going to put us on Mars fighting with the president. It's all crazy. It's all crazy to me. Let's tune in. Let's see what they're saying here. Thousands at No King's Day. Panchos are live. Let me see. Refuse fastest on protest. Nah. Same thing. Some people on the streets. See this person, LETV. Go subscribe to her if or him or whoever it is. But this is that independent journalism that I think everyone who's being an independent journalist might need to kind of reevaluate what that means. But yeah, man, we got Timbaland losing his mind with AI. All these things going on crazy today. I have no idea. Let's see what time is the Trump birthday bash going down? What a crazy fool. He's throwing himself a birthday on, like knowing all this stuff is going down. Let me see. When is... Oops. Dude, I unconsciously made the T lowercase. I didn't even mean to do that. When is Trump's B-Day party? Come on, Gemini. Spit it out. It's very slow. See? Don't be afraid. Trump's 79th birthday party marked by a major military parade in Washington. When does it start? 6:30 p.m. Oh, it's still a couple hours away. Ooh. Oh, this is what I'm hoping. This is what I'm sincerely hoping. I'm sincerely hoping that when we wrap up right now, that I'm not going to have to come back on later on because some crazy stuff happened. And we will continue the story, and we will continue the story if that happens. But, man, that's a big crowd. There's a big crowd in front of a bunch of police. So this is where everybody's at. All the news is here. This is downtown LA. I guess it's probably in front of one of the government buildings, right? So far, though, thankfully, seems like it's. Yeah, man, there's a lot of people going. Oh, there's two different ones going on. So there's police there too. I'm not sure at this point though. I'd love to hear what the not the purpose, but like if there's a plan, with the protesters. Is there a plan? Like they're standing in front of there. Are they trying to get in there? Is that the thing? I can't see, because I don't think that is that where some of the ICE, the people that were apprehended by ICE are being detained. I'd love to know. Yeah, I think it's it's probably that, all right, or there's something having to do with ICE in either one of those buildings. But if say you're not from LA or you're not from California, the area you're looking at, like obviously you could walk around that whole area, and that's where everything is kind of at in the city. I know there's other small protests and peaceful marches and different things happening throughout the city, but this in LA, that's where that's mostly happening. And so hopefully everybody will be safe. Hopefully people look out for each other. That's a big part of this, right? Like doing our part to help each other. But I also hope, again, that when people inevitably go home, and hopefully everybody makes it home, that maybe we think more about like what other things we can do that might be more effective than standing out there and just covering it with Instagram or whatever. But I encourage you, if you have talents and you want to get involved, use your talents. Do that. Maybe your talents are at home organizing or doing accounting. Maybe you're an accountant and you can reach out to some of these families that are being affected by ICE and help them in their financial areas. Maybe that could happen. Maybe you're a teacher and you're like, yo, I can go there and march. No, don't go march. Get whatever kids that are down and like have them study like the history of protesting and why that really matters. Though that'd be way more effective, because then we're putting more people out there that are ready and organized and able to like organize other people. That's what we need more than that. We do need more than that than people taking a walk on a Saturday. A bunch of looky-loos. There's a lot of that. And again, people like Danny Mullen out there just kind of doing tomfoolery. I said it. It's people out there just kind of acting a fool sometimes, and I don't want to see that anymore. That'd be crazy if that's what ends up getting people really, really hurt. But you got to know that it's only a matter of time, right? Like that for sure is just a matter of time that one of those things goes wrong and then somebody does get hurt from it. So again, if you guys are out there, please, man, try to keep it safe. We definitely understand the anger. We definitely understand the injustice. For sure, that's all for real. That is for real. This is a bunch of BS. We all know it. Everybody knows it. The way this is being handled is horrible. And empowered to the people, because that's what it's really about. Power to the people, and then let us as people like elevate. That's what we should do. We should be elevating ourselves, away from any of the mistakes we might have made in the past. So hopefully those things, those things don't stop. The thinkers who are thinking about those things keep thinking about them. Even if it feels like nobody's listening to you, do it. It matters. We can come up with way better ideas and be way more effective and still serve our communities in the best way, in the most respectful way, in the most empathetic way. So please keep doing that. Again, man, we're going to be jumping on live a lot. I'm going to be covering everything from current events to UFOs, maybe even some wrestling. Who knows? But if you want to hang out, come hang out. We're always going to have fun. We're always going to watch stuff. Hopefully always have like great conversations as well. Feel free to jump in the conversations. And man, we'll see you guys next time.